Deadbolt, Don Peoples. Let's talk about it. So we got to get into, man, what's took place, man, with my man Gunna being released from Fulton County today on that Rico charge that went down with the state with him, Young Thug, and the whole YSL crew. But obviously, man, it came with a lot of stipulations, and it makes you wonder with this plea deal coming down the pipeline out of nowhere, I should say. Do you think now, with Gunna admitting that YSL is a gang, will he have to snitch, or has he already snitched to fulfill his plea deal obligation? Now, this is a crazy situation, man. I think anytime that there's a plea deal involved, you know, that means you pleading guilty to something. And, listening to what happened today in court with him admitting that YSL was a gang, different narcotics, guns, and all type of other stuff, will he have to, obviously, with this plea, having special conditions, that if they call him to testify, he would have to do so. He still will be able to claim the Fifth Amendment, but obviously, this can get real sticky for one. And it makes me wonder what is Young Thug and a couple of the other big wigs of YSL thinking. I remember saying at the beginning of all this, it might be smart with the rest of them looking at serious time to find a way to get Gunna out of this situation to where he can still make revenue for the gang and be able to take care of families in the whole nine. But this whole little thing right here, it's kind of spooky because being called to testify truthfully under oath, you already know they got evidence on you. They've already probably discussed that with you. For you to have to say that YSL is a gang, that's checkmate right there. That's what that is. That's a checkmate move because you admitting that YSL is a gang. I can't see you walking that back. And I think the difference between his and T.I.'s obviously is T.I. didn't have nobody in the courtroom that he was actually, his gang wasn't on trial. Grand Hustle wasn't on trial. YSL is on trial. So for him to put on record that okay, they are a gang, and obviously they got other witnesses clarifying that. I think, like I said, the big wig that they want in this situation is Young Thug. This is the one that they want. So I don't see it being a problem for them to say, well, okay, we'll offer Gunna a deal, but you still going to incriminate yourself in a little bit. And I know it was a lot of pressure for him to get home. I don't think he's cut to be in prison over a decade. Um, do I feel like he got caught down in a lot of stuff dealing with YSL? Yeah, but I feel when you take a plea deal, man, you lightweight selling yourself. They gave you a gravy deal too. 1 year served with 4 suspended, or it's 5 suspended. I think 4 suspended, and you get to come home. You know what I'm saying? Make music, obviously be with your girl, and family and shit like that. And do you really think they let you off without any repercussions or any type of, leash around your neck? Now, obviously, you can't be around pistols. You can't get in no other trouble. They can suspend your stuff at any time. But the DA down here, man, I think she got one up her sleeve. And I think the main one that she wanted to get out of all this was Young Thug. And I really feel that that was the one that she had targeted all along. And if she had to, have some wiggle room for somebody like Gunna, she can make that wiggle room because she knows who the real head honcho is. So, I think that this was a play to get Gunna on record to admit that, hey, YSL is a gang. This is just another domino. So I do feel, in a sense, this falls under the snitching category. I mean, paperwork is already being broke down online. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a lot of people really digging into it and what certain terms mean and how things is, could play out. But in my book, I mean, he said the most incriminating things. He's not owning up to anything. And if it was somebody else in the car and you're saying it wasn't you, then you basically saying it was the other man. I know it kind of looks like on the surface that, oh yeah, man, they let him out. He didn't have to snitch. He didn't have to do nothing. He just caught a plea. Shit, did 6ix9ine not have to snitch? He caught a plea. So like I said, I really think they're going to use Gunna to say that he won't have to testify or get on the stand and say certain things. And like he can plead the fifth, but there's certain things, and I think there's stipulations within this plea deal that he'll really have to, divulge some personal information. I don't think he's going to be able to plead the fifth on everything. I really don't think that the DA would have let Gunna out. This was her ace in the hole. And if he was such a menace to society, bonds being denied in the whole nine for all this time, and just to let him out like that, nah, man, he a dead man walking. And I really think he's walking on thin ice, because if this paperwork get twisted a certain type of way, then niggas can't stand next to him. It's really up to what, how Thug and the rest of them handle that. But as soon as a whisper come out that Gunna one-on-one might be talking, and he pushing plea deals and not P, it's gonna be a issue. If he pushing paperwork on people, you feel me? This can really put him in a sticky situation. And like I said, this is something that T.I. could never shake, but I think this is a lot more deeper than T.I. This can get a lot more uglier, you know what I'm saying? Because if he has to go up on there and admit that this is a gang and not a record label, you know what I'm saying? I think that can be the end of Young Thug and a couple of the other head members of YSL. So I think a lot of power is in Gunna's hands, and I don't know what he's gonna do. And I hope that he understands that the freedom that you got came at a price. They just didn't release you, with 1 year served and suspended sentence. Unless it comes to unless we find out that they really didn't have nothing on you and they had to let you go, so to speak, and just they wanted to make it look good, so they wanted some type of conviction, so they got you on a plea. I can't see that being the case, man, because even though it was a state RICO, a RICO is a RICO. So at the end of the day, I definitely want to see how this plays out. I want y'all to get in the comment box and let me know what y'all think. Do y'all feel that Gunna then snitched on the crew to get out on this Magic Johnson behind the back plea deal right before the holidays? Or do you feel that, they never had no evidence really on Gunna and, they just wanted to get some type of conviction, so they offered him a gravy plea and let him out? Or do you feel also that him saying that YSL is a gang is going to spell the end for Young Thugger Thugger? But I want to hear what y'all say, man. Y'all get in the comment box. Y'all like, subscribe, share, hit the notification tab so y'all can tap in every time I drop a video. It's your boy Don Peoples. Deadbolt. Gone.